eventually did meet with the New York Times, depending on where you're at in your Facebook feed or your Twitter feed. He said he was going to not meet with them because at the last second, the failing New York Times refused to agree to the pre-set out conditions of the meeting. But eventually he did sit down, and here are some excerpts of his meeting with the New York Times. Regarding climate change, he said, I'm looking at it very closely. I have an open mind to it. Regarding, he thinks there's, might be a link between humans and climate change. Good for him, like scientists of 50 years ago. I would love to be the one, he also says, who made peace with Israel and the Palestinians. That would be such a great achievement. This was circulating rumors of having Mike Huckabee, who says there, as the Israel ambassador, who says there aren't Palestinians.
So when Nixon went to China, it was only Nixon who could do that, right? And so wouldn't it be crazy if this maniac, ends up doing it?
Let me stop you there. It's already crazy. But yes, I know exactly. That's why. Yeah, that's why. But it's all. I already feel fucking crazy.
So Trump has people need to remember this. Trump has no affection for Republican ideology. He's not a Republican. He doesn't give a shit about conservatism or big government, small government. He doesn't care about any of that stuff. And he doesn't care about what's traditionally happened between Israel and the Palestinians and Egypt and Jordan. And he doesn't care about any of that stuff. He's like, hey, maybe we could make a deal with the Palestinians. Maybe we could. So who knows? Maybe he will, because the people who we've had haven't done anything. In fact, they've let war crimes happen in Palestine, right?
Yeah, but who are his friends and what sides are they on? Because that seems to be where it all revolves around to. But going back to all the meetings that he's having face to face, it's only loyalists that he's really given any jobs to.
But he also has no problem, as he showed in the primary, to completely go against his party leadership or his party ideology. He said, I'm going to protect Social Security and Medicare. I'm going to do an infrastructure spending. So now, the Republicans who always want to cut Social Security and Medicare, now they have a hard time doing it because Donnie Tynahan says he's totally going to protect it, plus infrastructure spending, which they've been against. Now he says he wants
to be so bankrupt.
So I'm saying he's going to make things hard for the Republicans because he's going to want to do populist stuff, which they've been resisting. So I think it's going to be more interesting than people think. I think it has the potential to be anything, and one of those things is better than what we have.
Part of what makes me so frustrated is that he's promised everyone 1,000 pounds of candy and no stomach aches. Mm-hmm. So yes, I'm doing the same thing all through the day. I'm thinking, this is a ridiculous statement that he made. But he also made this statement, which sounds less ridiculous. And the only reason I'm able to do that is because he's literally made every statement possible.
So I'm watching Katrina vandenHeuvel from The Nation, and she was talking with Tom Hartman on the Tom Hartman Show. And she was going down this stuff that Trump did there in the primary. And she said that, and when he gave his speech to the Chamber of Commerce, she goes, which I was delighted by. And I was like, even Katrina vandenHeuvel, there was a moment in the campaign where she was delighted and enthused by Donald Trump. He really did. And guess what Hillary Clinton did? She never gave anybody one of those moments. Nobody ever was like, all that shit she did with the emails and the thing. But remember when she did that? I was really on board for her. She doesn't have one of those moments. But even somebody like Katrina vandenHeuvel will admit, I was delighted when Trump fucking stuck his finger in the eye of the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, it's so
weird. And you wonder why the Democrats lost? There's people, Barack Obama won't lift a finger to help those people in North Dakota, and you wonder why the Democrats lost. He wouldn't lift a finger to help his base. He wouldn't lift a finger to help unions. He wouldn't lift his finger to help working people. At the same time Hillary's asking for the Rust Belt votes, he's trying to ship more jobs out of the country, and you wonder why the Democrats are a dead party.
It's tough, because it feels crazy. And I look back along the chain of events that led us here, so I know how we got here, sort of. But every time I forget how we got here and I look at where we are, I feel just as crazy as ever. Like, it feels so
Well, things were
insane.
crazier than people realized. We just had a nice guy in charge, a guy who was personable, who we liked personally, to make us feel like things can't be as crazy as they are, but they were. We ran out of bombs in Syria. He tortured Chelsea Manning. We put journalists in prison. We've expanded the war in Afghanistan. We've been bombing Afghanistan for 15, 16 years. 5 more years, we get a gold watch. But things are crazier than people think, and that's why it's good Barack Obama's going away.
But don't sleep on all that other stuff. Like, still be awake for it. Because
Yes.
the one thing that Trump seems like he's susceptible to is people not liking him.
Yes.
The people not liking him.
Yes.
And there's certain people he's fine with not liking him, and he uses that the way, like, you know, Andy Kaufman used being a villain.
Yes.
You know, so thanks, Jimmy. That made me feel good. But yeah, that's what it is. And he thrives off certain people hating him, but you're the people. And if you hate him the right way, he will blink. So
I agree.
get up and do it.
Blinking instead of listening to you? If Katrina vandenHeuvel was impressed by his speech to the Chamber of Commerce, I wasn't, because I don't fucking believe him. I don't believe anything he says. I believe what he said at first, who he is, and what he's done before he started running for president. The things about his life and who he is who that guy is.
Yes.
I don't trust anything he fucking
Yeah.
says. Even more so.
Because I feel like I know him.
He's
being
not
from
not
LA.
impressive to me.
LA and New York
He
made
may
this
put
guy.
some money into all kinds of things that'll go on some infrastructure, this and that. And I was like, I don't fucking believe you. There's something behind it.
No.
There's nothing about you that I'm gonna believe ever. You're not gonna get me. It's not gonna work, dude. You've already got me. You've already said who you are. I'm gonna believe the guy who told me who he is. And hey, do all the great things you want. Never gonna be on that bus. Just
Yes.
not gonna happen.
Together we can change the media, make it more representative of you and not the powerful. Come join us, make a difference. tytnetwork.com/join.